Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and the latest batch of wrestling game news, which today features updates on Retromania, WWE Battlegrounds, Supercard, the Wrestling Code, and comments from CM Punk on returning to WWE 2K. Before we get into any of that though, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest wrestling game news, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. So let's start things off with Retromania Wrestling, which is just over a month away from release on February 26th. According to the latest dev blog, this past week has seen the team continuing to put the game through vigorous testing as they try to find any last minute bugs ahead of the game being submitted for approval at the end of January. Due to this, there's not too much being added to the game at this point other than little tweaks here and there. However, one big confirmation that we did get is that the game now features an AI versus AI option that allows players to have the computer simulate matches. Not only is this a good addition for players that like to simulate matches, but it's also proving to be a useful tool for testing purposes, as Mike shared this photo of his current setup where he has the game running 4 different AI matches as a means of testing both the AI and also looking for bugs that he might have missed. Moving over to WWE 2K Battlegrounds, this week's roster update is now live and it features the addition of 3 new superstars. First up, we have Rezar, which completes the Authors of Pain following the addition of Akam last week. Also joining the game this week, we have NXT's Fandango, and then rounding out the update, we also have the inclusion of WWE legend Rowdy Roddy Piper. These 3 stars are all live now, with Rezar being unlocked and ready to play, whilst Fandango and Piper both require unlocking using the in-game currency. For anyone wanting to see these new characters in action, then stay tuned till the end of the video as I'll have a preview of all the new attires and moves. Switching over to mobile and WWE Supercard, this week's seen the addition of the new Royal Rumble 21 tier as well as some new quests and rewards. Taking a look at some of the previews that we have, this is the new design that's being used for the Royal Rumble 21 tier, with this design featuring somewhat of a dark alley and a neon Royal Rumble timer on the side of the building. Now visually, I think this looks pretty cool, although it is weird to see them going with this kind of style given the fact that the promos for the Royal Rumble featured a comic book style. Alongside the launch of the new tier, we also have a new Royal Rumble quest going live on Friday, with this featuring the debut of Dominic Mysterio, who has a special Royal Rumble 21 card. Celebrating the Royal Rumble, 2K also have some rewards planned for next week, as starting on January 26th, the Royal Rumble mode will feature a boost that rewards players with double draft picks and double super coins, with that running all the way till February 2nd. During this period, players will also have the chance of pulling a new Royal Rumble 21 card from the draft board regardless of their current tier. However, it's stated in the press release that this is a low percentage chance, therefore if you do pull one, then you've been incredibly lucky. Lastly, before we move on, make sure to log into the game during the weekend of the Royal Rumble, as the store will feature a free gift containing a Royal Rumble 20 tier Rey Mysterio card, 1000 super coins, 25 draft picks, and a new Royal Rumble card back. Switching over to WWE 2K22, we have some interesting comments from CM Punk, who was asked whether or not he'd be open to appearing in a WWE 2K game, similar to the way stars who weren't with the company such as Sting, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Goldberg have in the past. Responding to the question, Punk said, "Yeah, but since it's me, won't happen." Based off the response, Punk is open to appearing in a future WWE 2K game, however he doesn't think it would happen, likely down to the fact that even if he were to secure a deal with 2K Sports, WWE would have the final say on whether or not it would be approved. Now, one thing that I will say is Ultimate Warrior spent years away from WWE when he was on bad terms with the company and even launched various lawsuits against them, yet 2K were able to work out a deal with Warrior to include him as the pre-order bonus for WWE 2K14, so there's always a chance. Finally for today, let's talk the Wrestling Code, as we have a few updates to discuss, including the reveal of the first DLC. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware, the Wrestling Code's roster has been growing exponentially over the last few months, following the signings of a lot of new legends, with the game currently set to feature a roster of around 100 stars. Whilst that number is insane for an indie title, it's a number that continues to grow, as the latest announcement for the game is former TNA knockout Velvet Sky. The difference with this announcement though is rather than announcing Velvet has joined the roster, This announcement confirms that Velvet will be joining the game as DLC, making her the first star to be announced as downloadable content. With Velvet signing on to appear in the game, then this could also hint that we may see her partner, Bully Ray, or Bubba Ray as he was in WWE, also signing on to the game, as Bully Ray tweeted out interest from Virtual Basement a few months back when he asked his followers if they thought he should do the deal. Following the announcement of Velvet, yesterday I seen the official announcement of Just Incredible, who becomes the latest ECW star to be announced, with this announcement coming after the teaser that we covered a few weeks back. So that's the latest on the game's roster, although we do have some updates in regards to motion capture, as the company recently shared this image of their new Manus Prime gloves, which will be using as part of their motion capture setup to record hand animations. Taking a look at the demo of the glove in action, then you can see just how accurate the motion capture is, as it perfectly recreates movements in real time, which can then be saved and used in-engine. Also in regards to motion capture, Virtual Basement have stated that a lot of the stars that they've signed have also expressed an interest in recording their own moves, as they want them to look more authentic in the way that they perform them, with one of the bigger names set to don the mocap suit being RVD, who wants to mocap his own moves in his own style. The last confirmation that I have in regards to mocap is that the company are also planning to record multiple versions of moves so that you won't always see the same animation playing out. There'll be slight differences, which is a really nice touch as it helps to bring an element of realism to the game rather than always seeing the same animation play out. So there you go, that's the latest batch of wrestling game news. There's a few cool things to pick through, especially the motion capture stuff, which is something that I'm really looking forward to seeing in action once those sessions begin. Anyway guys, that is it for this latest batch of wrestling game news, but let me know your thoughts on everything that we discussed in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications to stay up to date with all the latest wrestling game news. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching this video, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.
Making his way to the ring, weighing in at 244 pounds, Fandango! Making his way to the ring, weighing in at 330 pounds, Rezar!
Rezar plants him with a powerbomb! Slapping his gums true on this!
Making his way to the ring from Glasgow, Scotland, weighing in at 230 pounds, Rowdy Roddy Piper!
Not exactly minding their P's and Q's, King.